Good morning, everyone. I would say morning. I'm sorry. Good day, everyone. uh, it is Christmas week. Those of you celebrating Christmas, I hope that you are uh, actually having a good time preparing for it. I know it's always a crazy week to me. Like I just finally got my tree up just a few days ago. Normally it's up like right after Thanksgiving, but I just couldn't get it together. But I do hope that you're having a good week. I know it's been a crazy, difficult year. Here we are, right? And and so I hope that you're able. I hope that you're able to really breathe in the wonderful gift that the season is. That reminds us about giving, and reminds us about being generous of spirit, um, and all of those good things. So that's my hope for you, that that's how this week is turning out, and that you're and that even if you don't get everything done according to plan, that you have a really beautiful week coming up to Christmas. So, um, of course, please do let me know if you are with me today in the comments. I swear I set all my settings so that y'all would come up, but I don't see anything. So, oh well. Just gonna have to periodically go and look for your comments. So today we're talking about how to take time off like a pro. But before we get into that topic, I wanted to just give a footnote to last week's Facebook Live on the subject of how to be a presence without being an annoyance. Um, I just want to clarify something. Um, if you are a person who really likes to post your work and stuff like that, I that Facebook Live last week was not designed to make you feel badly about that. So I want to tell you, if you like to do that, go ahead and do that. You got no judgment from me at all. Truly, we all post for different reasons. Um, uh, I was talking to some of my on-camera actor friends, and about how when they post things that are coming up, um, and about how much they like to let their families know, what they're doing and all of that. So there are very good reasons to post your work. The thing I want to clarify with you is that it's not going to have any effect on your career. That's really the point. It's not a marketing tool to help you secure more work. That was my main thrust. And so it was also to relieve people who don't like to post and who feel like that's big pressure, that somehow they have to do that in order to have a career. It isn't. You don't have to do that in order to have a career. But I would like to give this analogy, right, to sort of clarify my perspective on the bragging piece, right? Um, I always hate to go back and say, well, back in my day when I started, but that's the truth. That's like my experience. So I just want to share it from that point of view. So, um, for most of my career in voiceover, I went into an agent's office to audition. So did everybody. Nobody had home studios, none of this, right? Like nothing. You'd go into an agent's office, you'd go into the agent's booth. There would be a booth director. Hello, Yvonne, if you're here. You usually are. Yvonne Viner was my booth director for years at Sutton Bartham Minari, right? Um, we would go in. If you went to a casting house, you went to the casting house and you sat in the lobby. You sat in the lobby of your agent's office and you waited your turn and you got to know everybody who was in the lobby, right? So Facebook to me is like a giant lobby. It's a big lobby. That's what it is. We're all sitting with our peers, right? So I would just ask you, like, would you, in real life, IRL, I'm just with the kids now using all the acronyms. Um, so would you walk in to your agent's office with your peers face to face and go, hey, I booked that Cheerios campaign and I have a copy of it. Do you guys want to see it? I don't think so. I don't think that's what you would do. I don't think any of us would do that. I never saw anyone do that. And then I know who was on what campaign. I knew because we all did our homework about who booked what and all of that, right? And at the same time, obviously many of us are actors and um, and writers and producers and directors. And we might walk into the lobby and say, "Hey, my play opens this weekend and it runs for four consecutive weekends and I would love to have you there. Here's a flyer." Absolutely, we would do that. We need to fill the seats, right? Like that. You know what I mean? So I would just sort of ask that you consider that kind of thing. That's really what I'm talking about, the prior thing, which is very different than calling your parents and going, "Oh my God, I just booked this thing and I'm so excited." Your parents or your best friend or what have you, right? So just asking you to consider the distinctions between those things, really, and to know that my real point last week was to say you don't have to you don't have to post your work on Facebook or be even a presence on Facebook at all in order to have a career. But if you love to post, you go ahead and post. And again, you got no judgment from me. All right. So there. Now, let me go see who's here so I can say hello. Um, Hello. Oh, look at you fine people. Uh, Shauna, did we go through this before? Shauna, I think it's Shauna. Jessica, Chikina, is that right? Hello. Yvonne, you are there. Hello. Hi, Jane. Um, I'm so happy that you're here. Thank you so much for joining me. Um, so let's get to this: how to take off time off like a pro. So again, this of course is multifaceted because we all don't have the same careers, and so there is no one pat answer about this, right? It's going to be different for all of us. So I will say this: if you are a voice actor who has contracted clients, right? Like, and that happens mostly in promo and affiliate promo. It happens actually more in affiliate promo than it even does in promo. Um, but affiliate promo, like that's news, right? And when you're doing promos, usually that's news. News never stops, right? And so, hence for me, um, if I leave somewhere, uh, I take my gear with me. And I take my gear with me, and I'm prepared to work for my clients. If I'm truly on vacation, I will tell my agents I'm on vacation. I'm taking my gear so that I can work for my clients, right? That's like I'm contracted to do that again because the news never stops. Doesn't stop for Christmas. Doesn't stop for Thanksgiving. Doesn't stop, right? But I think that's kind of a small slice of us, right? But again, it's just to illustrate that it's different for everybody. So it depends upon your client base, whether you have agents or not, or you're on pay to play sites. But everybody has a right to a vacation. I actually, in my um, affiliate contracts, there's a clause. I get 2 weeks. I get to say I'm not available for these 2 weeks. I haven't exercised that, so perhaps I'm not the person to be talking to about taking time off like a pro. Um, but it's in there, and and my point of that is even they recognize that people need a vacation, right? So when it comes to voice actors who primarily work in commercial, medical narration, and any kind of narration, right? You just have to keep in touch with your clients. If you have an ongoing regular thing or you're in the middle of a project, right? Just need to communicate, right, with your client. And so if they're up against a deadline that's December 30th, you're going to have to talk to them about that and see what you can do. But communication is key, right? And I think that the vast majority of people are like, yeah, we know it's the holidays. Um, and so they expect that people are going to take at least a bit of time off. Um, but again, it's communication, right? So if I'm going out of town and I am not going to be auditioning, I just communicate with my agents. I send them an email, right? I am going to be out of town and unavailable for these dates. right? I will be available to my clients. Or in the rare case, maybe I will say, I've already communicated to my clients that I will not be available, and we've arranged how we're going to work things either before and after I go. Um, here's the difficult thing. We have to let go of auditions, right? We have to let go. If you're going to have a vacation, you have to let go. And that I think is probably the hardest thing, because we're all thinking that, the next big thing is coming into my inbox, and what if I miss it? You know? But the truth is, you're going to miss things all the time. And new things are coming. They're coming. They're on the way. That's the beauty of Advent, right? It's on the way, right? So you can rest assured in vacationing and taking time off that there will be things for you when you get back. And yes, you will miss some things, and you may miss some big things. That's okay. Big things are still coming. Great auditions that fit who you are and are perfect for you. They're coming. They're still coming, right? So we have to just let go of this idea that we're going to miss out, and that's going to be super detrimental to our careers. The truth is, we are going to miss out. Absolutely. We're going to miss out on some things, and we may miss out on some great things. Um, but um, but again, it's okay, because there's always more coming. Okay, so I'm going to check back again, see what y'all have to say, if anything. I don't know. Hello, Philip. Okay, fantastic. So no deep questions here. Okay. So let's see. One of the other things I wanted to say was, um, yes, if you have direct clients, right, that you're working with, again, it's the same thing. It's like, if you're in communication with them and you can give them advanced notice to when you're going. I know I keep referring to the holidays, but we often, we take time off throughout the course of the year. Um, if you can give them advance notice to say, I'm going to be out of town for this period of time. If there's anything that you need me to do before I leave, please let me know. I'm here for you. And if there isn't, no, I'll be back on this date, and I'll be ready to go for anything that might arise, right? Communication, communication, communication. That is at the heart of being able to take time off and not have a nagging sense of worry. If you've left your clients hanging, that's not a good vacation. Like, that just feels awful. And that's why ultimately I got myself a travel uh, studio kit. Like, I put one together because I felt awful when I would leave town and I wouldn't have my gear, and it would be like, what if they call? It was always a gamble. And now I don't have that anxiety. I take my little carry-on with me, and I may never open it, but I know that I'm okay. If they call and go, oh my God, we have to record this thing and it's going to air in 2 hours. It's like, okay, I can respond, right? Which actually helps my vacation. I know that sounds kind of strange. Um, the other thing, like, if it's a big life occasion, if you're getting married, go on your honeymoon. Tell everyone I'm gone. I'm not available. Like, hands down, never take your gear or work on your honeymoon. Just don't do it. Um, if you've had some event in your family, if you're attending a funeral or a memorial service, don't take your gear. Be present. Be present with the people who need you, and that you need, right? And let go, because there's nothing in voiceover that's that important. Let your clients know you're going to be gone and why, and then let go, right? And really be present. Which leads me to the thing that I feel like is most important to actors, voice actors. And it's something that I learned in a writing class, believe it or not. And some of you may have heard me say this, but I was in a writing class, and we it was ongoing, right? So, and it was broken into quarters. So first quarter, second quarter, third. third, fourth quarter, right? Um, and it ran for 10 weeks, and then it was 2 weeks off. And then the second quarter would come in, 10 weeks, 2 weeks off, blah, blah. That's how it went. So we all got to know each other because we were all in this class and ongoing. And so there was this core group of people who were there every week, and we did our writing assignments. And then when we would arrive at class, we would share our work and talk about it and all that. And occasionally there would be people who were regulars who weren't there. They took a quarter off, or they took a year off, or, and we'd all be worried, like, are they okay? And what's up? And, oh, I hope they haven't stopped writing. And our teacher would always say to us, yeah, don't worry about it. They're out for supplies. They went out for supplies. And this phrase, going out for supplies, is super important. I would hope that you would use it, right? Because when you have to take time off, even if it's a significant period of time off, like I have told y'all before that after I had my daughter, I kind of sank into some postpartum depression, and I took 6 months off of voiceover. I didn't audition for 6 months, right? Things like this happen in our lives, right? And it doesn't mean the end of our careers. Um, Going out for supplies is like remembering that what we are doing in voiceover, in any kind of creative career, and it certainly applies to voiceover, we are endeavoring to communicate the human experience. That's what we do in our commercials and our animation pieces and our video games, um, even in our narration spots, and even in our medical narration, right? We're communicating, and we're human, and we're communicating human to human. So the more experiences in life that you have and that you've gathered, that that's what brings wisdom. That's what brings knowledge. That's what brings compassion for other people and understanding. You've had experiences, you can share your experiences. You share your experiences with other people, and all of a sudden you've connected, right? So you have to consider taking time off to be that you're going out to be in your life, right? To live your life. Yeah, that's just such a huge thing that, again, our supplies, our voiceover supplies, aside from the coaching that we get and the tools that we use and the gear that we have, our supplies, human experience, is part of our supply bank, right? So I just would hope that you would latch onto that sensibility, so that you know that even just going to live your life is a useful thing to your career, right? Taking time off is a useful thing to your career, right? Seeing the sights, smelling the smells, hearing the sounds, right? That's all a part of it. So how can I summarize this? Everybody's different, right? Every circumstance is different. Know your circumstance. Communicate to your agents, communicate to your clients, and let go. You're going to need to learn to let go of opportunities, that came your way while you were gone. Oh, well, there's always more. There's always more on the way, right? I was going to say, I don't really know Voice 123 very well. I took advantage of that site it feels like decades ago. I don't know if it was that long ago. I don't even know if it's been around that long, but at least a good decade. And so it's so different now, I know. But I'm just curious if there's a means by which you can sort of post on your site temporarily, like, I will be out of town from this date to this date. Look forward to submitting auditions upon my return, right? And if so, do that. Again, communicate any way that you can, where you're going to be, why you're going to be there, right? What you can do before you go, and what you can do when you come back. everybody needs time off, and everybody needs to go out for supplies. So that is the sum total of what I have to offer you today. Let me see if there are any questions or comments that I can address here. Let's see. Um, yeah, Yvonne, I'm going to find your. Where did it go? Come back to me. Yes, Yvonne Viner. You know, Yvonne is a wonderful voiceover coach. So hit her up if you are looking for a. She's a really really good director. So Yvonne, not only will there always be more auditions, but as creative humans, we need to rest and recharge our batteries on occasion to come back ready. Yes, and to be present where you are. Absolutely. Yes, and having a travel kit. The goal is not to use it. Yeah, yeah. Um, it's true. It does bring a bit of peace of mind, and I think it's really good. Um, it's really good to make it as small as possible because then it's really not an encumbrance to you, and you don't want to feel like you're going. I know people who travel with so much travel gear that it's like, oh my goodness, it's like you're herding cattle onto the plane, so much stuff. So I just try. I've tried to make it as compact as I can, and I think I can make mine even more compact. So, um, uh, email the person. Yes, that's a good point, Shauna. I really hate that I might be pronouncing your name incorrectly, and I know you told me once before, so please forgive me. Um, she does. You do send in personal audition requests. Yes, that is absolutely your choice, right? If you see something come in from your agents and it's like you were a specific request on this, um, absolutely. I treat those like work because they've actually asked me you know um, to submit it. And even sometimes I don't get to those, and I feel terribly about it. But Shauna, okay, Shauna, okay, I think I got it right. Okay, good. um, Even so, sometimes we can't even get to the things that were requested for. And that happens. And hopefully it doesn't happen often because you always want, you do want to be there for people who want you, you know? So yeah, again, I think the bottom line is communication and recognizing that the rest of your life has meaning, and and it, um, and it only improves your voiceover work. The more experience you have. I mean, why is it, do you think, that people who are older um, are asked to read things like you know financial stuff and healthcare, and it's because we have wisdom in our voices. It's because we know. It's because we actually are worried about our retirement, and we are worried about our health care. That's real, So and it's because we've lived some years and some life, So don't forget to live your life. That's the point of taking time off. So I'm gonna leave you with that. And sorry if that was all a little bit disjointed, but such is the state of my brain these days. I'm looking forward to the first of the year. So I feel like it's a big clearing. It's going to be a big clearing. Um, anyway, again, for those of you celebrating Christmas, I wish you a Merry Christmas full of love and light and peace and joy. And if you are alone for Christmas, I'm thinking of you. It's hard sometimes over the holidays to be by yourself. And this season is still for you. It really is. Um, it represents, the birth of new and good things to come. So I hope you will carry that spirit with you. Please feel free to send me a question, drop me a line, anything. I'm here. Um, I am I am in town actually over the holidays, and it's actually time when I kind of catch up on my email and clean out my ridiculous email inbox. I think I have 1,500 unread messages. That's horrible. That's like hoarding. I'm hoarding emails. It's so cumbersome. So I usually do that. I catch up on my books, like I do all my accounting. I clean out my inbox, and then I feel good when I start the first of the year. So I'm around if you have any questions, and I'll see you on social media if you're there. But don't spend too much time on social media. Go be with your people. All right. Love to you all for a very Merry Christmas. And I will see you after the new year. May it be a good one for all of us. All right. Take care. Mwah.